morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heike and you're watching Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. Today is it's Thursday, right? Yeah, that's my life right now. Thursday, June the 18th. And yeah, today is probably going to be a short one because I'm going to be honest with you, I have totally noped out yesterday out of my usual crafty routine, which you might have guessed is a lot of crafting usually, many hours of it. And yesterday I pretty much noped out on it and decided to waste away most of my afternoon and evening playing Animal Crossing. So I have zero diamond painting for you today. I'm very sorry about that. I did not touch my painting yesterday at all. It is ready and kitted up. I just didn't feel like it. I think because I put in so much time on Hello Beastie in the last couple of days of painting on it. I'm not entirely sure. Also, I think a couple of hours after I finished filming yesterday, the yarn for the project I had been teasing arrived, so yay. Made me excited, but I did not cake it up yet. I did not cast it on yet because I wanted to show it to you first. So let's start with the stitching part. I did a bit of stitching, like 2.5 hours I believe it was in the end, which was more than I thought I would get in at the point when I started. And I worked on, of course, Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches. The link to the pattern will be in the description box down below, though I have to check. I think she's currently moving her shop away from Etsy to her own webpage, so I have to check how far along that is, if she currently even uses Etsy. I'm not entirely sure. So, like I said, not too much stitchy time. 2.5 hours sounds like a lot, but as you might see, if you remember where we were yesterday, I did actually not put a whole lot in. I only stitched the little branches hanging off here. I stitched the bit of soil that is spilling out of the broken planter and the legs of the bird, and that's all I managed to do in that time. Cross stitch is one of these crafts where you can very easily overestimate how much you can do in a certain amount of time. I have realized that a while ago. But yeah, so nothing too exciting here. The plan, of course, is to stitch some more on this today. I'm going to start the bird today, so I'm not going to finish him. Not at all, because he doesn't look like it, but he is in the end pretty big. So I'm going to say the bottom half of the bird should be done tomorrow. Let's hope for the best. But this is moving along quite nicely, I have to say. The page I'm currently on, there isn't too much stitching left. Most of this... Yes, I thought this would happen. I'm sorry guys, I'm filming later than I usually do today, so actually I was planning to be on Rachel's Patreon live, I think it is, yeah, right now, but I'm going to be late, obviously. So what was I saying? So yeah, the plan for today is to work more on this, so nothing too exciting. And I think I will get it done in June. I feel pretty good about getting this done in June at the moment, if nothing unforeseen happens. So that's all I have for stitching. Not too much. I did put in a few, and with a few I mean exactly 4 rows of knitting into the shawl. I think filming later has the benefit slash disadvantage of Lola taking a nap. So that's why my little assistant is missing, but I for once can show you this shawl properly without having to fight the cat. So as you can see from yesterday, I have moved my marker and I put in 4 rows. So one hard panel repeat, I think I have said that before, is 10 rows. And my initial plan was to do one of those per day. I have obviously also not done that in quite a while, or should be much further along with this. But this is slowly turning into kind of a relaxing knit. I mean, I still make mistakes. I mentioned yesterday that this looks off, and it totally looks off. I have no idea what I did here. There's some kind of passover again. Like down here, I did the same thing. I don't know how this happens, because I never pass over stitches in this pattern. Except for the center decreases, but those don't look like that. So yeah, not entirely sure what I did there. Don't care. It's living there now. But this is how long this is now. And the original pattern actually calls for 25 repeats of this heart part of the pattern. I think I'm going to need to do more. I'm using a slightly lighter yarn. I think I've talked about this before. The pattern calls for bulky. I'm using the Lofty DK, which is a bit thicker than regular Lofty, I think, but not heavier, just a bit thicker. And my gauge is usually pretty loose, but still, it is of course going to be smaller because between DK and bulky there is also yarn and worsted, I think. So I'm going several yarn weights down here, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. So this is coming along nicely, but I have a feeling this is going to be even more on the back burner now, because I'm going to start a new project today, and I'm going to show you the yarn for that in a minute. I am going to finish the hard panel I'm currently on, so that means 6 more rows before I put this away for the day, and then I'm going to cast on something new. I totally got enabled by Rachel Ray, because she has been knitting on a knit-along shawl, and at first I managed to stay away from that. It is a knit-along that Ruby and Roses yarn started. I have talked about her before. I think I've shown you yarn I've gotten from her before, and she is not only the most amazing 16-year-old I've ever seen, she scares me actually still. She also dyes beautiful yarn, and I love it. It's just very expensive for me to get, and also right now it takes so much time, so much time. I don't know what's up with the prioritizing shipping does in the US, but for some sellers things are back to completely normal and fast, and for some sellers it still takes so much time. And then of course the German part of it as well, which is never fun. But anyway, she started a knit-along. She called it, don't let me say it wrong, she called it the A Lot of Fluff knit-along, and she actually asked to knit something with either mohair or suri silk, so to add some fluff into that. She is knitting the Plumetis shawl. That's what Rachel's also doing, and that's what I have decided to do. So I'm going to put the pattern up here. The Plumetis shawl by Melody Hoffmann, and it is, as far as I can see, I've read the pattern yesterday, it is a pretty simple pattern, so it shouldn't be too hard. And I got my yarn because I couldn't honestly afford to buy from Ruby and Roses. Her yarn is comparatively expensive. A lot of the US dyers actually sell their hand-dyed yarn at a higher price than what I've seen here in Germany or in the UK, where I get most of my stuff. Sorry, sip of coffee. So I, on the one hand, couldn't afford it, and on the other hand, didn't think it would arrive in time for the knit-along to end, because the knit-along is going to end mid of July, I think, so like 4 more weeks. So what I did, I went and bought my yarn from a company called Castleview Yarns, and they are in the UK. And I decided to go with greens for my shawl. It's blowing out a little bit. It's a little less teal and a little more green than you see right now. And I went ahead and bought all the yarn I needed for this shawl. So this shawl is knit with yarn held double, 1 strand of sock or fingering weight yarn. It doesn't have to be sock yarn. And 1 strand of either mohair or suri silk. And you have your main color, for which you need twice the amount of the contrast color. So I went with a color called Loki. It's this one here. And I know she just had dyed up another batch, because when I contacted her and asked her when she would have Loki back in stock, she told me that she just had dyed another batch of it and would send it out as soon as it was dry. It was already on the drying rack. So and I placed my order, and she pretty much shipped it out the next day. And now everything Loki is gone again. So this color seems to be very, very sought after. And I thought a nice contrast color would be the Heart of Tefiti. No idea what that's supposed to mean, but I thought this was a super gorgeous color. As I said, you cannot see the green. You really only see the blues and the turquoise, and the greens blow out completely. But this is much more green. And yes, it's a bit more in your face than the Loki, but this is just the contrast color that's going to be on the sides, the stuff you can see here in the pink color. I think I'm going to stick with the original pattern. I know that Addison, Ruby and Roses yarn, has modified her pattern. I haven't checked yet if she is sharing the modification, but I think I'm going to stick with what Melody wrote in her pattern and just do it that way. So and I went with Suri Silk for my fluff yarn. So as you can see, it's a 74% baby Suri alpaca and 26% silk mix. And it is so freaking soft. This is so soft. It's like my cat spun into a yarn. It's amazing. So this afternoon I'm going to cake up these two, and I'm going to cast on this new shawl, and let's see how quickly we can get this done. There's also a giveaway running, so you can join this Ravelry group if you are interested. You can choose any project you want. You don't have to knit the Plumetis shawl. You can knit something totally different as long as it has some kind of fluff in it. And if you join, you can, I think it is, you can participate in the chatter thread and in the finished object thingy. And if you finish your project in time, you get one draw or your name once in the pot. And if you participate in the chatter thread, and I think if you use her yarn, you get several more chances. So yeah, I haven't completely read the rules, because usually I never win anything, so I don't look too deep into stuff like that. Yeah, so that's the plan for today, and I hope this will be as epic in the end as I think it is. I'm kind of giddy about knitting with a bit of unusual colors for me. I mean, you've seen the yarns I've chosen. I go usually for the lighter colors, and most of the time I navigate towards the purples and the pinks and maybe the turquoise teal light blue range. But true greens not so much, and I thought these were just so gorgeous. I love Loki particularly because this is a very pretty mix. And it really reminds me of Loki, quite honestly. This color name is so fitting. Oh, one little word of caution about the Suri Silk. If you decide to purchase from Casa View Yarn, she, I think it's been a week ago, you probably should check her Instagram. She posted that once she's out of the Suri Silk colors for something, she will be out for quite a while. She can't restock at the moment. Her blanking on the words. The company she buys her yarn from doesn't have anything right now, and has told her it will be several months before they have it back. So yeah, if you would like to purchase from her, especially the Suri Silk, do it now, because once it's gone, it might be gone for a long time. Alright guys, yeah, this is all I have. I'm sorry for the absence of Kat. They are both taking a nap. Even though you might have heard Nelly a few minutes ago, she decided to pipe in here, at least with a little bit of a song. She has been such a pain in the last 2 nights. She just won't shut up. Okay, let's see where we are with this tomorrow, right? Right now I'm super excited. Let's see how long that lasts. Alright guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.